Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I was going to just talk to you about my thoughts on the new Shang-Chi movie, but Marvel hit us with the Hawkeye trailer, so let's go ahead and watch that and then we'll get into Shang-Chi. So where we left off with Clint would be at the end of Endgame. You know, he went through all that stuff with Natasha. As far as the only thing that I know, and you know, his Ronin persona, the only thing that I know about this series is that he's going to be training Kate Bishop to become the new Hawkeye, which I think is like, everyone's saying that it's one of the mini setups for the Young Avengers. That way he can pass on the mantle of Hawkeye and he can become his Ronin persona. That's the only thing I know. And the other thing that we have to worry about with Clint is Yelena, Nat's sister, coming after him because Val, don't ask me to say her whole name, the Countess Valentina blah 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 blah. In the post-credit for Black Widow, we see that Yelena has been approached by Val, but she seems to have been working for her for a while now, and Val has told Yelena that Clint is the one who killed Nat, or that he's the reason that she's dead, which on a technicality is not wrong, even though Nat actually like sacrificed herself, so obviously Clint will have to address that. Yeah, that's about it. That's all we really know about the Hawkeye situation, right? Oh. Thunderbolts. Everyone's been talking about how Val is probably putting together the Thunderbolts team. Again, don't read the comics, don't know anything about the Thunderbolts, but sure. If I understand correctly, Clint was part of the Thunderbolts at some point, so maybe this is kind of like a recruiting tactic and that is what they're setting up. Who knows? There's gonna be like Thunderbolts and Young Avengers, and the Fantastic Four is gonna come in at some point, then you have the actual Avengers, and then you have, I'm assuming the X-Men will come in at some point, and it's just... Okay, let's just get into the trailer.
This is the first Christmas we've had together in years.
Years? Wait. What do you mean?
Time.
Yeah. He's with his kids. Got it.
Authorities are wondering if the masked vigilante who terrorized the city's underworld...
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to deal with that.
I'll be home for Christmas. I promise.
He's not gonna be home for Christmas. Don't make promises you can't keep. What is he doing?
I made a whole lot of enemies.
Yeah, you did. I bet you did.
You're a Hawkeye!
Who the hell are you?
Right? It's the most wonderful time.
Hey, babe. I should be back in a day or two.
You better hope so.
Things have gotten more complicated.
Okay, this is good. This is pretty good. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just sitting here. Are they on the stage?
Definitely not this one.
You don't have to say definitely like that. Holy sh**. There are arrows more dangerous than that one?
Yeah.
Just some Christmas.
Okay, I really didn't react to this trailer as much as I thought I was going to. I was just staring at it because it just feels like, I guess maybe it's Frank Sinatra singing, but it just has that Christmas feel to it. Like, it feels like it's gonna be some kind of like Christmas holiday comedy, like rom-com type of thing, and it's not. It's definitely not going to be that. Well, he's already married, he's got kids, but it just, you know what I mean? It's got that, like, holiday feel to it. I would also like to weigh in here that whilst watching the Hawkeye trailer, even though I don't think I really reacted to it that well, my bad, I was just staring at it, but, like, the whole time watching it and then after reflection and stuff, it feels like Die Hard, but like a more Christmassy version of Die Hard, which I am one of those people who do not consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. We're not gonna get into that, but this one actually does feel like Die Hard and Christmas film at the same time. This I would consider a Christmas series film type thing more than Die Hard, but that's just me. Sorry guys, don't hate too much. So basically what Clint's got to do is just erase all of the stuff that he's done in the past during those 5 years while he was Ronin, or in that persona type stuff, because obviously he couldn't go around being like Hawkeye, because Hawkeye's a superhero. Why would he be killing all these people? Why would he be a vigilante? It's gonna be interesting. I'm sorry if I didn't react to the trailer that much. I was just like in awe of what was going on. It looks like it's gonna be fun. Little comedy right there. I don't know. All of these Disney Plus shows are just, they're surprising me. They really are surprising me. They have set up my standard for Marvel content a little too high now. And by saying that, I want to talk about Shang-Chi now. Going into Shang-Chi, I don't want to say that I had high expectations or like no expectations. I guess, you know, I walk into these Marvel movies with like it being a B movie, being like, you know, it's decent, it's alright. I would definitely say that Shang-Chi, which by the way, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. I would definitely say that it is higher up on some of the lists, especially for an origin story. There's so much that I absolutely loved about the film. A fourth to about a third of it is in Chinese or in Mandarin. It's mostly in a foreign language for a good bit of it, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that it's all about, you know, identity, especially from breaking away from your traditional background and like assimilating into American culture and then having to try and go back to your ancestral and heritage culture. I really did enjoy that, because there's this thing in America where we're all like, oh yeah, well, I'm this percent Irish or I'm this percent. I mean, I really did enjoy that, you know, they can be both one and the same, especially with Awkwafina's character, where she's like, well, I don't know Chinese, I can't speak the language. And it's also like, you know, and that's fine. Maybe you should, maybe you don't. It's kind of one of those things where it's like a toss-up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I also really loved that they went into Chinese mythology, because honestly, going into this film, like, I didn't think that the big monster at the end would be like the big bad or whatever. I honestly just thought it was going to be his dad. But I did love in the end that even though his dad was corrupted by this voice and wanting so much to get his wife back, he would still put down his life for his kids, you know, even in the end. And it's like, it was just really good. I really wasn't expecting it. I want to give it like a 7 out of 10, because this is really the kickoff of Phase 4 for the films. Black Widow, on a technicality, really doesn't count. This is a really nice way to kick off the films for Phase 4. I'm really excited about it. I'm glad they had a really good balance of using Wong, because I really went into this movie really hoping that there wasn't going to be like a lot of MCU crossover stuff and a lot of like references, and they promptly address the whole Mandarin thing from all of the Iron Man movies, and it is properly addressed and completely dismantled and rebuilt, which I absolutely loved. And they used Wong in a great amount in this film. He doesn't overstay his welcome. I was very happy with his involvement in the film. I also really enjoyed the filming, like the direction of this film, and how I want to say it's kung fu, but all of the action sequences and all of the fighting and it's so different from anything that we've seen before, and it's just amazingly done. Like, the choreography for it is so good. I'm sitting there, I'm just like staring at the screen going, oh my god, this is so cool. This is wow. I don't know, there's a lot of aspects to this film that I really love. I would love to see it again. I've only seen it the one time. I'm just really excited for this character already. I'm very pleased with how this film is, how it came about. It's a really good film. Before I start talking about the end credit scene, I want to give a shout out mention to Trevor, because I'm pretty sure I was the only person in the theater who laughed out loud at his introduction in this film, and I was like, yes. Yes. He did overstay his welcome just a bit, but anytime Sir Ben Kingsley was on the screen, I was losing it. But the end all be all is the end credit scenes. There are 2. The mid-credit scene is probably the most significant. Shang-Chi and Katie are interrupted by Wong while they're talking to their friends, and they go and they discuss the 10 rings, which I'm gonna take a sidebar here because I forgot to talk about it. What are the 10 rings? Does anybody have an explanation for it? Because the only thing that I left this movie with not knowing and understanding is, what exactly are the 10 rings? Why are they here? Which I guess is probably like going to be something in the future. I really hope that all my questions will be answered later. But like watching the movie, you really get a sense of the 10 rings as an organization rather than the rings themselves. I know they've been on Earth since like 7,000 years, I think. I still walk away and I'm like, I don't quite understand the 10 rings still, but I'm all for it. I am all for this new kind of mystical arts type stuff that's gonna deal with like Wong having to deal with this, and because with the monster at the end, you know, it's from a different dimension or reality or something. And as we get closer to the multiverse and everything that entails, it's just all of this cosmic, mystical arts, magic stuff is just, I really enjoy it. And I'm just gonna have to sit down and pay attention. If I missed what the 10 rings, like the actual rings themselves really are, and like I've seen what they can do. I still don't understand it, but it's cool. But the way that the end credit is apparently when, you know, Shang-Chi used the rings, it sent out like a beacon or whatever. And I don't know how long exactly this happens right after Thanos. I don't remember. I think they say something about it, but it's got to be like within the following weeks, I would assume. I don't know, because I don't know if it's going to wrap into the Eternals or not, because the Eternals have been there for so long. But while they're discussing this, they have Captain Marvel there, which, one, what is up with her hair? Why is her hair like that? And two, you have Bruce Banner, who is in human form. We went through this whole thing with Professor Hulk. Why does he look like this? Why was it Mark and not Hulk Bruce? Like, what is happening? I guess She-Hulk is going to show us that. But you get the sense that something is happening. This beacon has gone off by using the rings. It's weird that, you know, that beacon hasn't gone off before with his dad using it. Maybe it's because there's some kind of like celestial power, because Shang-Chi is half his dad and like half like from his mom. He's got Talo and he's got all the mystical stuff, which, by the way, did anybody else feel like they were watching Avatar? Like a very good, accurate representation of Avatar: The Last Airbender? Was it just me? Because I was like, go Aang! I was just like so excited. I don't know. All the mystical stuff, I'm really excited about it. And then the final end credit is Shang-Chi's sister taking over the 10 Rings organization, which I'm really, really excited to find out like what exactly she's gonna do with that, because it looks like it's gonna be like a mesh up of what her dad was doing and what she was doing with both of their like organizations combined. All the comedic timing in this film I really enjoyed. The women in this film I absolutely enjoyed. And then the end of the movie, it didn't say Shang-Chi will return, it's the 10 rings. So and then I think it had a banner of like the 10 rings around it. So does that mean the organization? Does it mean the actual rings themselves? Maybe both. Who the hell knows? All I know is I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely want to see it again. I can't wait to find out what these characters do next. And all I have to do now is sit and wait for the next episode of What If, and then wait for Eternals to come out in November. And yes, I have already seen the second trailer, so I can't do a reaction to it, but I am super excited because this would definitely, I think, take place either right before Loki or like whilst Loki is happening in that time frame. Marvel content for the rest of 2021 is gonna be, and I'm excited. So thank you guys for staying here and watching the trailer with me and for discussing Shang-Chi. Please let me know if there's anything that I missed in the movie specifically or in the trailer that I need to know. I do read every single comment, and I do try to like do some kind of research, but I don't ever want to really be spoiled because, you know, this is a completely different type of thing. They're using the comics more for inspiration rather than like straight adaptations, in my opinion. But yeah, I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye bye.